Hi, I'm Shan. In this video, I'm going to share how I came out to my Chinese parents and what I've learned since then. Why I'm sharing this is because I wish the past me knew this stuff. If you're afraid of your parents reacting to his sexuality, then this video is for you. Alright, I'm going to declare this a safe space. So make yourself comfortable, get a cup of tea, let's go. So it's been nearly 2 years since I told my parents that I'm attracted to females. I came out to them in October 2018, the night before my flight to Nepal. I was traveling there to spend 2 weeks staying in a monastery to learn about Buddhism. Now my mum is a devout Christian, so she wasn't a fan of this idea. But she gave me her blessings to go. So the night before my trip, it dawned on me that I had to come out to my parents now. Because there was a chance that my mum might think Buddhism and meditation, which my family thinks is this, woo-woo stuff, might turn me gay. Yep, that was reality. Look, my mother grew up in a really different world to me. I'm incredibly privileged. She grew up in poverty and had to stop school, and this is the same for my dad. So you have to understand where they're coming from. So the night before, I was around the dinner table. I told them that I was going to come over and have a chat with them. Pretty anxious, we sat down and I said, hey, Mom, Dad, I have something to tell you. 我是同性恋. And this is how they responded. So that's how it went. It was pretty scary. I was really anxious, but I'm really glad I did it. The moment I acknowledged my sexuality in front of my parents, the fear that held me back for years had no power over me. Now, my parents' reaction is completely reasonable. Dad was angry, they were both shocked and confused, and it might have been disappointment, shame, love for me, just everything. It was just a whole bowl of emotion. So that's really confronting for them, and it's a lot to deal with. I come from a conservative Chinese family, and if you do too, the reality is our parents is not going to understand and accept homosexuality with open arms. It's completely outside of their worldview for what's normal. Of course they're going to react and be upset. Now there's actually two things they're getting upset about, and it has nothing to do with you or me or our sexuality. Let me explain. This is how they view me, their daughter. I'm expected to be married to some guy, normal heterosexual relationship. We're meant to have kids, which then would equal grandchildren for them. The moment I tell them I'm gay, this entire view is crushed for them, and it's very confronting. The anger, confusion, whatever emotion they're showing is not actually because of my sexuality. It's because of their view of me being crushed in that moment. And it doesn't seem real to them until I have a partner, until there is physical evidence. When there is physical evidence, they can't continue being in denial anymore. They can't continue to hold on to this version of you that's just not true. Now, the second thing they're reacting to is their reputation. It just doesn't look good to have a queer son or daughter. It just doesn't look good to have queer children. To have to tell their friends that their daughter is a lesbian or their son is gay or transsexual or asexual, wherever you sit in the LGBTIQ plus space. It's not a good looking space for the Chinese culture. This is pretty much a terrible group to be associated with if you want to look good, if you want to save face. So now there's this layer of, they don't look so good in front of people and their friends. And then now there's this other layer of how they've always seen you. And they're both collapsed at the same time. And that's really confronting for them to deal with. And that's going to bring up so many things for them. And it's completely normal. So I wish I knew this before I came out to them. That way I wouldn't be so scared going into that conversation. Now I know when I bring up things about my sexuality and they're responding, and really this applies in anywhere in life. When someone reacts and responds to you, it has nothing to do with me and everything about what's going on with them. Now the great thing about having this false view of me be erased is now I have an opportunity to create a new one for them to see. One that resonates with who I am. So how do you want your parents to see you? The authentic you.